Let's make my Hidden Trails quilt pattern that uses only a charm pack. Now I am using a layer cake called The Season of Tribute, Roots of Nature by Bonnie Christine, which I will cut into 4 5-inch squares per each layer cake to create a total of 4 charm packs. I am doing this because Art Gallery Fabrics doesn't manufacture charm packs, but either way, I actually recommend buying layer cakes and then cutting them down as they end up being cheaper in the long run if you ever need charm packs for a quilt pattern. But today I am only using 45-inch squares, so feel free to use your scraps, but 45-inch squares is normally one charm pack. But let's go ahead and get started. With 25-inch squares, you're going to trim them down to a 4.5-inch square. Then with the remaining 25-inch squares, you'll select 10 of them, and on the wrong side of fabric, you'll draw a 45-degree line from corner to corner with a fabric marking tool. Then you'll take another 5-inch square and lay them on top of each other, right sides together, and sew a 1/4-inch seam allowance on both sides of that line you just drew to create a total of 2 4.5-inch half square triangles. Then with those half square triangles, you'll create a flying geese block. Then you will also select 2 4.5-inch squares in mixed prints and place them on the bottom to create your block. Then you'll sew your blocks together to form rows, and then lastly, sew your rows together to complete your 8.5-inch quilt block. Then you'll just repeat this step until you have made a total of 10 quilt blocks. Then with those 10 quilt blocks, your first row will have your flying geese pointed to the left. Then for your second row, you'll rotate your blocks 180 degrees to have your flying geese pointed to the right. You'll lay it out in 2 rows with 5 blocks within each row. Then as always, sew your blocks together to form rows, and then lastly, sew your rows together to complete your table runner. And here is what my Hidden Trails table runner looks like all finished. Once everything is sewn together, you should start seeing this hidden illusion of a scrappy chevron, which I am totally in love with. And for the backing, I am using leftovers, and fun fact, the batting is still attached to that project as well. But then for the thread choice, I am going to go with Glide threads in the color Bagabai Green. And here is what it looks like all quilted. For the quilting, I went with Calliope, which I will have linked down below in the description. As always, feel free to expand on this pattern. Go bigger, smaller, making a bed-size quilt, whichever you would like. But this pattern finishes at 16 inches by 40 inch for a table runner that uses only one charm pack. But if you could please take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified for your next amazing quilt project.